Hey guys, it's Mike here, and in this video, I want to discuss a subject that I always think about pretty much every single time I go back and rewatch or reread the Buu saga of Dragon Ball Z. That specifically has to do with something that happens right near the end of the arc, which is when Kid Buu destroys the Earth. And the question here that I'm discussing today is, why didn't Goku stop Kid Buu from destroying the Earth? Did he not have the power to do so, or was there something else that may have been preventing him from doing so in this case? Well, let's get into that subject right now. Okay, so for context here, for those who might not remember it, even though it is one of the most iconic scenes in the franchise, you'd have to wonder why people wouldn't know about this. But anyway, what ended up happening was that after Goku and Vegeta fused together into Vegito, they were utterly wrecking Super Buu as his Buuhan form, his most powerful one. Yes, you did hear that right. And what ended up happening was that they decided to go inside of Buu at this point rather than obliterating him, so that they would be able to rescue all of their friends from within. They did this, and they also removed the Fat Buu from within Super Buu, which was inside of him after he was absorbed by Evil Buu, which then turned him into Super Buu, and I discussed all that in a video you could see in the top right corner, or on my channel, why did Super Buu turn into Evil Buu instead of Kid Buu. And basically what ended up happening next is he began to revert back to his initial form. First going into the form that was encapsulated after he absorbed the Southern Supreme Kai, and then becoming Kid Buu, the original pure Buu, Aku Buu, Evil Buu, or whatever you want to call him. At this point, Supreme Kai explained that he was the original Buu, and that he had absorbed the Southern Supreme Kai, the strongest and burliest, the god of the South, and, of course, the gentlest one, the highest ranked one, the Great Lord of Lords, Dai Kaioshin, or the God of Gods in Universe 7. And this turned him back into the small, or the most difficult, most dangerous Buu after they were removed from him. And so he proved this by immediately trying to destroy the Earth, which fortunately Vegeta was able to knock away, because I guess that Buu for some reason kind of forgot that, Kid Buu, or kind of forgot that Vegeta and Goku were there so they could, actually stop him. Either that, or he just assumed that they didn't have self-preservation. After all, they kept fighting him an entire arc, so he must have thought they were dumb. So either way, what ended up happening, they challenge him to a fight, and Kid Buu, well, they think at first he's going to go along with it until, of course, he charges up this massive blast. And interestingly, Goku says right here, it's huge. No way. He's going to let that loose. We can't deflect that. And then he fires it. They're trying to stop him before he does that. Stop, Buu, please. You'll destroy the Earth. Don't you want to fight us? Kid Buu doesn't care. He has zero chill whatsoever. He's not exactly Frieza here. Or Cooler. Or King Cold. They're all very cool. But cooler is cooler. Anyway, what ended up happening was that I talked about this part in a video. Why didn't Goku save his friends rather than, saving Mr. Satan and Dende? You could see that in the top right corner too if you could see cards. I don't know. Everyone gets wiped out on the Earth except for those four, all obliterated. And, additionally, they go here and the whole fight against Kid Buu begins. So the question is, why couldn't Goku actually stop Kid Buu from doing this? After all, Goku had Super Saiyan 3, so does it really make sense for him here to say that they couldn't deflect that, which is to say he and Vegeta together didn't have the ability to get rid of this blast and knock it into space or to nullify it with their energy? When you actually look at the fight, you do have to wonder if that really is the case or not, because what ends up happening is that very shortly after this, Kid Buu regenerates, and in the manga immediately teleports to the Grand Supreme Kai realm, the Kaioshin realm, and then begins to fight against them. And at this point, Goku says that he's going to fight Kid Buu on his own, and that because Kid Buu is not a fused being, he doesn't want to fight as a fused being either. So he kind of channels Vegeta in going to, say, nah, I don't want to fuse anymore. Now, interestingly, what we say here is that Goku seems to believe that he actually can defeat Kid Buu here, which again kind of goes back to that previous scene of why exactly couldn't he do something there. He says he's going to go full power. In the manga, he actually does. He doesn't just fight Kid Buu in Super Saiyan 2 for no reason at all. I guess to get an idea of how he fights, as so many people like to bring up when Goku cycles through forms, but either way, he doesn't really do that as much in the manga as he does in the anime, where they like to drag everything out. But then Goku says, confidently, "You sure? You might not get your turn. I actually could have beaten the Fat Buu with Super Saiyan 3 when I met him, but I wanted the new generation to make sure they could take care of themselves." This is something else that kind of harkens back to Goku saying before he unveiled Super Saiyan 3 that he and Vegeta wouldn't be able to defeat Fat Buu, that they were equal in power, and everything else along those lines. So again, this seems to go against Goku, having really a reliable track record of either not lying in this arc or just, not necessarily knowing what he's talking about in terms of the power. And that's something that we lead into soon, because Goku here seems to think that he could defeat Kid Buu by going Super Saiyan 3 and fighting against him, but in the very scene that we're examining in this video, Goku literally says right here, let's go back to that while I fix everything. When looking at Kid Buu's attack, he says, "It's huge. No way. He's going to let that loose? We can't deflect that." So which is it, Goku? Are you able to defeat Kid Buu or not? Kid Buu channeled this blast pretty freaking quickly, so it makes you kind of wonder, why couldn't you stop this blast if you think you could beat Kid Buu? Do you think he's just not going to fire yet another blast like this at you when you're fighting him on the Supreme Kai planet that you're not able to deflect? What exactly is up there? And I think that it kind of comes down to something else, too, that we see during the fight itself, which is that Goku might have just been underestimating the power of Kid Buu, because as you can see right here, Goku's actually fighting Kid Buu in the manga, at least. Well, really in the anime too, but a lot of people misinterpret that at full power. He's going all out. He's trying everything he can to defeat Kid Buu. As we see right here, Vegeta says this idea that he thinks after Goku blasted Kid Buu with the Kamehameha and he starts to regenerate, Goku says his chi never goes down a bit. He keeps coming back no matter what I do. And Vegeta says, "You want to switch or he says, quit lying. You never planned to switch. You knew that I'd just get killed." And Goku says, "No way, I never." And then Vegeta's like, don't try to make me feel better." And then he says, "You're right. Buu is stronger than I imagined. And so, Kakarot, are you. Don't mind me. Finish him off. Build up your chi with Super Saiyan 3 and you should be able to obliterate him." But what does Goku say? "Well, I've been trying to, but I haven't had the chance." And Vegeta's shocked because he, like many other people, thinks that Goku is holding back and he wasn't actually trying to defeat Kid Buu, but he was waiting for Vegeta to have a turn. That's not true. He never even attempted to. And Vegeta even says, "You're not holding back from me?" He thought Goku was. And so this is kind of a subversion in a lot of ways of what we saw earlier, where he's saying Goku is number one, that he is so much beyond me and he's still trying to give me a chance. Not really. He's trying his best actually right here, but Vegeta has to now at this point make it to where Goku can channel his power. He says right here, "In a minute, I'd have to rev up for a whole minute to get enough power." A minute? What is he, a pimp named Slickback? "Lord, guide my Saiyan Prince hand and make it strong, Lord, so a Buu may know his place." The Batara could have done it, says Goku. "Maybe I tried to act too cool, but I thought this would be better." So again, Goku's kind of reassessing everything that was going on here. He actually might not have been able to live up to his promise of being able to defeat Kid Buu, because as he says, he keeps dragging this fight out. The little punk's having fun. So Kid Buu is really more powerful than most people assumed here, including Goku. Goku goes to channel up his energy, and then Vegeta holds him off. But as we see later on, as Vegeta starts to get wrecked and everything's like that's going on, Goku himself is also overestimating his ability to use the Super Saiyan 3 with the dead body. Or with the living body, rather. And he says, "It's been over a minute, and this isn't enough. I need more chi." And so, eventually what ends up happening, Goku starts to realize what's going on. I'm not getting enough chi. And then eventually, he actually loses his Super Saiyan 3 form because of the limitation that happens right here, where he explains, as we see momentarily, "Darn, it worked while I was dead. I guess it takes too much chi to be Super Saiyan 3 while you're alive." And so Goku knows he's done. There's nothing he could really do. So perhaps that is the real reason why he wasn't able to stop Boo's attack. Maybe Boo, when he channeled this attack, was something that Goku would have needed to charge up for a full minute with a dead body in the other world in order to be able to deflect. But he didn't have a minute here, did he? Well, no, because Boo immediately, when they're trying to argue with him, trying to tell him to stop, goes to throw the attack. Goku doesn't even have enough time to be able to teleport more than once, an instant teleportation, because he has to lock on. And as a result, has to leave his friends and family behind to get obliterated with the planet because of the fact that he simply didn't have enough time. So, of course, as we do see very shortly when they go to the Grand Supreme Kai planet, Goku is able to become a Super Saiyan 3 at this point, basically immediately. We see him do it right here, whereas originally it took him a while, especially in the anime version, it took him literally like 5 minutes of screaming. I'm surprised that Sean Schemmel didn't, just pass out like he did with Super Saiyan 4 at that point. Same thing with Nozawa. But nonetheless, what ended up happening was that he didn't have enough time while in Super Saiyan 3 to stop this attack. So that's the only way I could think in universe it would make sense. After all, if Goku does think that he has the power to defeat Kid Buu, why wouldn't he be able to deflect or nullify one of his attacks? And at the same time, too, he doesn't think that even him as a Super Saiyan 3 and Vegeta together could do it. So, maybe he forgot about Super Saiyan 3 for some reason, but nonetheless, all this kind of served as another plot device to get Toriyama to get rid of all the other characters who could have fought and defeated Kid Buu, so that everything could come down to Goku and Vegeta against him, and ultimately come back to Vegeta's plan, as you could see right here, where they decide to utilize the Spirit Bomb, because once in a while, the people of Earth should do their share of the work. Of course, they had to wish back the Earth because they were obliterated 5 minutes before, but nonetheless, you get the idea. So why didn't Goku stop Kid Buu from destroying the Earth? Simply because it seems like in the manga, and probably the anime, Goku didn't have the power to do so within the very short time frame that was allowed him. Of course, Vegito could have done it, and maybe if Goku was dead and had charged up for a full minute, like he's saying that he might have done in the afterlife at one point, he could have been able to do that, but that's not quite exactly what happened here, and as we see play out afterward, well, what ends up happening at that point is Kid Buu does get his way and does something that only Frieza, if I recall correctly, who knows, there's a million things that happens in fan fiction and, the other spin-offs, was able to do, which is destroy the Earth. It doesn't make him the best villain in Dragon Ball, that is Cell, as I talked about in this video up here. But with that being said, let me know your own thoughts down below in the comments. Why do you think that Goku wasn't able to stop the attack? But also, make sure to stick around, because there's a lot more to come in the future. Also, please make sure to like this video.
And you better subscribe!